Okay, so today we're jumping right into a huge, messy, and fascinating collision. You've got the world of artificial intelligence moving at lightning speed, and it's slamming right into laws that were written, well, a long, long time ago. People are calling this the fourth industrial revolution, but the real question is, are our laws even ready for it?
You know, for the longest time, we thought of AI as just a clever tool, right? Kind of like a really advanced calculator or a spreadsheet. But that's not the world we live in anymore. Now, AI is actually generating its own unique work, sometimes with just a little nudge from a human. It's not just the paintbrush anymore. In a lot of ways, it's becoming the artist.
And that right there, that's the big puzzle. When an algorithm writes a piece of music that gives you chills, or it designs a brand new gadget that could change everything, who gets the credit? And, more importantly, who owns the legal rights? Is it the programmer? Is it the person who typed in the prompt? Or, and this is the wild part, is it the AI itself?
So why is this such a legal nightmare? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. All of our laws about creation, about invention, they were built on one fundamental idea, that the creator is a human. These rules have been stretched over the years to cover movies, software, you name it, but they were never, ever designed for a creator that isn't a person.
I mean, just look at the term itself, intellectual property. The whole point is to protect creations of the human intellect. It's all about rewarding a person's creativity, their hard work, their spark of genius. So what on earth do we do when the intellect we're talking about is artificial?
And here's where it all comes to a head. On one side, you have our legal tradition. For a patent or a copyright, you need human skill, you need a fresh idea. On the other side, you have AI, which is all about algorithms, data, and pure computation. The law knows exactly what to do with a human inventor. But with an AI, we're in a massive legal gray area, and nobody's quite sure what the rules are.
All right, let's dive right into the heart of this ownership debate. Because when you actually try to apply these old laws to these new AI creations, you hit some really specific and, frankly, very tricky roadblocks. It's like walking through a legal minefield.
And to get through that minefield, you've got to clear 4 huge hurdles. First up, eligibility. Is the stuff an AI makes even protectable in the first place? Then there's inventorship. Patent law says you need an inventor. Can an AI even be that? Then, infringement. If an AI rips off someone else's work, who gets sued? And finally, the biggest question of all, does an AI have any legal status to begin with? Can it own property or be sued at all?
Now, this is where Indian law gets really interesting. Because deep inside the Copyright Act of 1957, there's this incredible little phrase. It defines an author as the person who causes the work to be created. That one word, causes, that's everything in this debate.
Exactly. So who is that person? Who causes the work? Is it the developer who spent years coding the AI? Is it you, the user, when you type in a really creative prompt? Or is it the giant company that poured millions of dollars into developing the system? In India, the law seems to lean towards whoever had the maximum involvement, which, a lot of the time, points right back to the people who put up the money and took the risk.
But look, this isn't just some coffee shop debate for lawyers. India is actually trying to get ahead of this. The government isn't just sitting back and waiting for things to break. It's actively trying to write the rule book for this new world.
So way back in 2017, the Ministry of Commerce put together a special task force. They gathered 18 of the smartest people they could find, scientists, academics, business leaders, government officials, and gave them a mission: figure out a roadmap for AI in India, because they knew it had the power to change, well, everything.
And the things they recommended tackle these problems head on. For data privacy, they said, let's create a data ombudsman, basically a digital watchdog. To make sure all the government departments are on the same page, they proposed a national AI mission. It's a really comprehensive plan trying to build smart guardrails for a future that's coming at us fast.
Okay, but ownership is only one side of the coin. The flip side of giving an AI credit for creating something amazing is figuring out who to blame when it messes up. If an AI can be an inventor, can it also be held responsible?
And you've got to think about 2 different kinds of liability here. There's civil liability. That's about paying for damages. Think of a self-driving car getting into an accident. Who pays for the repairs?
But then there's criminal liability, and that's about punishment. What if an AI is used to help pull off a major cyber attack? Who goes to jail?
So, we're right back to that impossible question. If an AI is making its own decisions and one of those decisions causes real harm, who pays the price? Is it the coder who might have missed a bug? The user who maybe used it in a weird way? Or do we need a totally new way of thinking about who's at fault?
And this leads us to a really radical, kind of sci-fi idea, electronic personhood. This is a real legal concept, seriously discussed by the European Parliament. The idea is that maybe the most advanced AIs could be given a special legal status, with their own rights and responsibilities, kind of like how a company is treated as a legal person. It's a mind-bending solution for sure, but it's for a mind-bending problem.
So, where does this all leave us? Well, we're in the middle of a global race. But it's not a race between countries for the best AI. It's a race between technology itself and the laws trying to keep up with it. And the most important thing to remember is that none of this is solved, not even close. In India, in Europe, in the US, all around the world, legal experts and governments are scrambling. They're trying to build a rule book for a game where the rules keep changing because the technology is just moving way, way faster than laws can ever be written.
Which leaves us with one last big question to chew on. For hundreds of years, our laws have really only recognized two kinds of persons. Natural persons, that's you and me, and legal persons, like corporations. But as the machines we build get smarter and more independent, will we be forced to invent a third?